Why Bell Cyber?
Why Bell Cyber? Made in Canada, largest MSSP boots on ground in Canada, greatest end-to-end in services, greatest partner ecosystem by far with the subject matter expertise to help our customers install, implement, deploy, manage, operationalize, optimize. We can do largely it all as it pertains to cybersecurity. We also have great culture.
Welcome back to Inside the Mesh. Today, Duncan Kennedy is joining us. Duncan, welcome to the show.
Diego, thank you so much for having me this morning. I'm delighted to be here with you.
Duncan, can you talk a little bit about your role at Bell Cyber?
Absolutely. I currently serve Bell Cyber as Director of Sales, Ontario and West Enterprise, and I lead a team of cybersecurity specialists helping our customers solve their cybersecurity and network security challenges from Ontario all the way to British Columbia.
Duncan, what are customers most challenged with in the cybersecurity industry nowadays?
In my personal experience, I think the resounding feedback from my customers is that they're challenged with too many tools operating in too many silos, too many alerts and how to effectively respond to security incidents, and the challenge of competing priorities within their organization to reduce risk.
Correct, and that's where Bell Cyber comes into picture to help our clients to fix some of these challenges and to help them overcome them with the highest level of complexity by using tools like our cyber mesh architecture or strategies like our autonomous SOC.
Absolutely, and that really is foundational in their modernizing of their security operations center, which I largely think is the biggest theme we're hearing about in the 2026 marketplace, SOC modernization.
Duncan, what does the cybersecurity mesh architecture mean to you from the sales perspective?
Let's get away from the sales perspective and move over to the core roots of Bell Cyber. The cybersecurity mesh architecture is an integration first practice that looks to take all the previously siloed and disparate solutions within a customer's ecosystem and bring them together for heightened visibility across their IT or perhaps their OT, to employ an integration practice which begets automation, and automation then becomes enhanced SOAR, so faster detection and response, and cohesiveness. So totaling visibility across your ecosystem for faster detection and response and better outcomes.
That being said, Duncan, what patterns do you normally see when you're engaging with new clients that are looking for the new MSSP?
That's interesting. I'm going to go back to the people. We're a services provider, and we're in the services business. And often when an organization is looking for a new MDR or MSSP, it's because they're looking for greater service and value from a provider. I think that that's something Bell Cyber truly excels at. We deliver an exceptional service, we deliver value for dollars spent, we deliver faster detection and response and better outcome.
Duncan, in addition to that, what has changed on how CISOs and IT security leaders are buying security tools today?
Oh, that's a great question. I think that CISOs are truly empowering their resources these days to make decisions as it pertains to technology acquisition, technology selection. I think those decisions are largely driven through a few themes that we're seeing, namely the platform and the utilization and getting the most out of the entitlements perhaps your organization already subscribes to. I think that the team is ultimately looking to reduce risk for their organization, lessen brand and reputational impact of a security incident, but I also think testing their controls. So we're seeing a lot of CISOs push their teams for operational resilience, understanding that it's going to happen, a cybersecurity incident may happen, and how are we best prepared to stand back up?
That's correct. So let's say we start off by analyzing the risk, and then CISOs and IT security leaders start putting controls on top of each risk so that they stay away from cybersecurity attacks that could potentially impact their assets or their critical infrastructure.
I think often these topics are led by regulatory frameworks or cybersecurity frameworks. And so if a cybersecurity practice is working with their organization to align to a framework or to a regulatory adherence, it's great for them to have that end goal, but how they get there is the challenge. competing priorities, what's most important while the business continues to run.
Duncan, how does Bell Cyber, being part of Bell Business Markets, add value to your day-to-day operations?
Wow, that's a great question. I want to say opportunity. Being part of Bell Business Markets gives Bell Cyber great opportunity. People, process, and technology are all of the doors and windows are open to us. We have a phenomenal team of world-class subject matter experts across different platforms, different practices. We have great customers across Canada, coast to coast. I've had the great fortune of meeting some out east and equally out west and here in Ontario. I also always have a place to go. I don't always have an answer, and I can't always give my team an answer, but I know that somebody within inside of the organization as a whole can provide support to any such challenge I have. So opportunity is number one.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the expansion of the services that Bell Cyber is now offering the clients through the Bell Business Markets engagements?
Absolutely. So if you think about it holistically, one of Bell Cyber's core value props was that we were end-to-end. We were turnkey, we were cloud-based, we were next generation and transformative. Now, if you look at the totality of services, from the ability to help customers acquire technology, to helping them implement it, to helping them then operationalize and optimize that technology solution, the end-to-endness is greater in vision. Equally, if you look at the services capability from carrier-grade DDoS protection to transformative NOC and NOC-like services, transformative SOC services, and then all the way over to the GRC practitioners from offensive security to PCI DSS and so on, we are truly a one-stop shop as Canada's largest next-generation MSSP.
Duncan, how does day two look like for our clients once they acquire our services?
So it's all about trust. Once we deliver a great job, whether it be helping a customer select or go through the vendor selection process, or whether we jump into the foray of security operations and those types of services, the day two ask is commonly around what headache did they have and where can we next help. So a great example of that would be going back to my focused comment on operational resiliency. Tabletops and simulations are often a great day two exercise in order to test the SOC and validate that the controls are working effectively and that all the people are brought to the conversation if and when something does happen. But also being able to answer with subject matter expertise on the forward-looking approach to their cybersecurity framework. E.g., what's next? This is coming up for renewal. How can we transform? How can we reduce vendor sprawl? How can we provide for greater cohesion, leveraging the mesh inside of our organization for, again, faster detection and response? So it all comes back to the mesh. It all comes back to that end-to-endness and vision. And I think that that's what we can deliver. And once we've established that day one trust, our customers look to greater involve us in all aspects of the security conversation.
Correct. And what happens when your prospects or our new clients have already made an investment in technology?
I always say to them, it's not for me to decide the selection of their products and their partners. If they've had a great experience working with whoever it is, largely all the OEMs are making great tools these days. They've invested significantly into R&D and in making these tools better and more effective for their customers. The support has increased, the supporting capacities, customer success, and those like functions are just making these organizations better to partner with. So we always come in and say, let's leave what you have today and let's start to look at your program holistically. Let's start to look at your roadmap. Let's start to tackle conversations about zero trust. Let's start to tackle conversations about IT and OT convergence. Or let's bolster your GRC practice. Are you missing policies? Are you conducting routine pen tests? Is that the best for your organization?
So even if they have already made an investment, what we do is we help them get the most out of each one of the tools that they do currently have in their ecosystems. So we give them outcomes through our cybersecurity mesh architecture, and that's what differentiates us versus any other MSSP in the market.
In my humble experience, where it's human nature to enjoy buying tools. The challenge with that is that then again, you start over your implementation, you start over your deployment. With that comes business disruption, and perhaps that's not the most simple path forward for your organization. Perhaps it's looking to the internal capabilities of that tool and getting the most out of them. But again, what we're seeing is that customers have two of everything these days, and they're looking to reduce vendor sprawl. They're looking for platformatization and platform optimization within inside of their ecosystem. So again, this is a big theme that we've been hearing about for a long time, and I think it's finally coming to realization within inside of our customer sites.
Duncan, what does end-to-end security looks like from your point of view?
Let's take that question 10 steps back. I think that largely we've seen in our customer space great foundational practice. We've seen the deployment of great EDR tools. We see a lot of our customers having robust SIM and the operationalized SIM platform for central logging, for use case correlation and all that good stuff. All of our customers have Moat and Castle traditional perimeter firewalls. They're exploring SASE capabilities. Lots of them have gone down that path. So end-to-endness means tying those tools together so you can offer greater correlation between those platforms. End-to-endness does not mean that one tool is simply sending alerts to a resource for that resource to action, but the resource is looking at the whole greater picture of what's happening inside of their ecosystem.
Correct. So it's not only about using just one tool to pretty much complete an investigation and go through all the actions that need to be taken to stay away from risk. You
Absolutely.
need to be able to integrate more solutions through a strategy like our cybersecurity mesh architecture in order to provide a more complex answer to issues that the clients are facing.
Absolutely, and I've got a great example from an incident that happened this past summer where, again, we bring the subject matter expertise in alert management, and one of our analysts was working with our customer and decided to look outside of what was being logged, being reviewed for the investigation purpose, and suggested that we look to an additional tool that had already been deployed, but that was not connected. So again, bringing all the pieces of the puzzle for greater visibility in the investigation process.
Correct. Duncan, from your experience working with existing customers of Bell Cyber, how have they adopted an autonomous SOC operation within their environment through Bell Cyber?
Autonomous SOC is a future state for customers to take advantage of. We've seen our competitors in the marketplace employ automation and AI through and through. You see CrowdStrike with Charlotte, you see Palo Alto with their various AI capabilities born into Cortex and XIM, you see SentinelOne with Purple AI, etc. AI is enabling the analyst to be further down the investigation process. The machine learning and the AI can add 1 + 1 = 2. So we don't need an analyst to review that. We don't need an analyst to conduct archetypical and traditional ticket enrichment. We can give the analyst the ability to start the process later in the investigation so that they can provide for operational efficiencies. We believe that the autonomous SOC is the future. The attackers are leveraging AI to execute attacks within inside of the customer environment. Anthropic published a dossier back in the fall of 2025 stating that there's been a known shift from AI being used as the advisor to now the executor of the attack. And this is fascinating and terrifying to us because the attacker is no longer human. And so how do you defend against agentic AI attacks and AI attacks? You need to employ AI with inside of the very fabric of your security operations.
And Duncan, can you share with us some feedback regarding our auto containment and auto eradication strategies?
Again, the overarching theme with our customers is that there's only 7.5 hours in a working day. Now, no cybersecurity professional works 7.5 hours in a day, but again, if the tool that you went to market to procure has the availability to stop, block, and delete malicious code on a laptop, workstation, or server, why not use that? But then why not take 4 steps back and look what's happening at your user level and perhaps reset a user session, or let's go to your perimeter firewall and block an IP on your firewall, or let's utilize your secure email gateway to lift bad emails from your environment so that nobody else can click on a bad fish.
Duncan, what makes you the proudest of the team that you're currently coaching at Bell Cyber?
The people. It boils down to the people, the leadership. Cybersecurity is an immensely complex domain. The experience that my team brings to the table is second to none, and they never cease to amaze me, bringing conversations that I truly have no idea about. I can just tell you, the other day on our Monday morning team meeting, one of my great resources, Steve, brought up Infoblox. This is a domain I know nothing about, and when I think of getting comfortable in security operations and network operations, they just throw me a curveball with a new capability. Equally, Joe on the team, I've had the delight of working with him over the years, and again, experience the availability to connect the dots with inside of the greater organization. Remember, Bell is a gigantic organization with a lot of resources, a lot of great people, and a lot of feedback that can be leveraged for the benefit of our customers by looping in those people. So the availability for us as a team and Imran out west to connect all the dots and work together for the best outcome of the customer is truly the advantage.
Duncan, if you can give one piece of advice to the security professionals, CISOs, and IT leaders that are watching these podcasts, what would it be?
Never say no to an event or an opportunity to network and connect with your peers. I have taken the personal investment in asking my customers that I have great relationships with over the years and connecting them with new customers for the sole purpose of connecting on like problems and challenges. This is a collaborative environment. So cybersecurity is a collaborative, let's call it a team sport. And it's imperative that we work together because in my experience and in my opinion, there are more attacks than there are subject matter experts and professionals safeguarding Canadian businesses and global businesses alike. So again, we need to work together. We need to share information. We need to share best practice. We need to share what didn't work and what did work in order to, again, resolve these issues faster and better our cybersecurity posture.
Correct. It's like you said, it is a team's sport, right? So not only you have to make sure that you understand your team members, all our teams within your company, your organization, but also you need to be able to grab feedback from the clients and basically implement that feedback in our day-to-day operations. That's the only way this can be successful, and that's the only way they can protect their assets appropriately.
A great recent example of this was a conversation between a customer and my team about their vulnerability management program. And it wasn't so much about the technical ins and outs about the vulnerability management program. It was, what are the metrics that executive non-technical leadership wants to hear? And that's a real challenge in cybersecurity, communicating business risk without the bits and bytes, communicating cyber risk without the technicalities, without addressing known bad IPs, because I assure you that board members and execs don't need to hear that level of granularity and detail, but they do need to be made aware of the challenge that the organization has. And so again, if we can all work together to better formulate strategies around this, we can get to end of job faster, just before it shifts again.
Duncan, final question. Why Bell Cyber?
Why Bell Cyber? Made in Canada, largest MSSP, boots on ground in Canada, greatest end-to-end in services. greatest partner ecosystem by far with the subject matter expertise to help our customers install, implement, deploy, manage, operationalize, optimize. We can do largely it all as it pertains to cybersecurity. We also have a great culture. One of the most common reference feedback from our customers and prospective customers alike is that the team is felt as an extension of their team. That's a real challenge in this domain with high turnover. We don't have that challenge. We've got great people. We endorse and help our folks through L&D activities, through training, certification programs, co-op programs. I myself have been with this organization coming up on 7 years, and I'm truly proud to continue my career at Bell Cyber and see what more we can offer our customers.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Duncan.
It was a pleasure to be here, Diego. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.